Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Wildcat Alley Podcast. Alex Margatulio, my main man, Juice Thompson, Northwestern legend. Juice, it's great to see you. First and foremost, I want to shout out our guys at New Amendment. Thanks for putting this on. Wouldn't be possible without them. But tapping right in, man, tipping things off. We're coming off a 3-0 week. And, I was able to see you at Alumni Day against Minnesota. That was obviously great to see you and the family. How are things with you?
Man, things are great. It was really good seeing you at Alumni Day, with all the former players. Just being out there for my first time being home for it was great. The kids, they were excited, got to run around, play with you a little bit. So that was good. I know you've experienced that a lot. How's the start of your week been? I know you had work today and everything. How's everything?
Yeah, it's good, man. And, obviously your kids are the cutest. Whenever I hear them come up to me, hey, Margatulio, I know who it is, and we dap up and we shoot the shit a little bit. So they're good kids, taking after their daddy. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, they're on the court trying to go out there and play, man. Not today.
I see you taking them to Chuck E. Cheese, and then on your training sessions, I see them getting in on the Papa Shot.
Oh, yeah. I got them in there working, so they like to be in the gym, so it's all fun.
Well, good, man. It was also good to see your family, your brother. Your dad was there, too, so it's always a good time seeing the Thompsons and reconnecting with them.
Definitely felt like one of the old games where I got 10, 15 people in the stands for me, so that was good to have everybody there.
Yeah, for sure. So, and I got to say, and I called this before, you probably got one of the louder ovations. The Welsh Ryan faithful has missed you, that's for sure.
Yeah, I definitely felt the love, so it was real good to be back and see everybody and get some cheers in there. So it was
awesome,
good.
Man. Well, this is obviously a highlight of my week, coming off 3 wins as well. So we got a lot to cover here on the X's and O's segment. So jumping right in, obviously we talked about Wisconsin on the last pod, but then we had to go on the road to a difficult place to play at Nebraska, and we really handled business. Give me some keys to the game for the Nebraska dub.
Ooh, Ty Berry.
Yes, sir.
He came out on fire. And for them to come out with that energy, coming off of COVID, big win against Wisconsin, and then the next day traveling, that just shows, the coaching staff is doing a great job keeping players fresh, keeping them confident. And they came out hot, even though Ty Berry had a really good start to the first half. Boo did a great job not forcing the issue, running the team. He was very efficient. And then Chase, he had a really good all-around game. He had 15, 6, 4, and 2, and he scored all of his points in the second half. So you can't ask for much more from your guard play. And then, we got to shout out the freshman Martinelli. He's getting those minutes in the Big Ten, scored his first points, and, he's just getting in there. He's sticking his nose in there, making some things happen. So, I'm just really happy about the way they came out with energy. They got off to a good start, good lead, and they were able to keep that lead and build on that. So anything that you saw that stood out, players, any offensive, defensive possessions?
I mean, a lot. First and foremost, I love Ty's confidence, right? Obviously, starting the game 7-7 from the field. There's not too often you see that. And then I got to give a shout-out to Chase as well. I thought he played a super poised game. I think there were little turnovers here and there to start the game, but he really stayed in the flow of the game. Not scoring in the first half. I feel like maybe in years past he could have gone completely away from the game, but he really, like you said, stuck his nose in there, kept his head in it, and really let the game come to him. And then obviously he had a huge play when Nebraska cut the lead to 14. They went to that 1-3-1 zone, and Chase crashed on the top of the key, had a sweet tip slam, and really solidified the game for the Cats there. So that was a huge play in a critical moment where, it got down to like 14. We obviously had a comfortable lead for a while, but then Nebraska charged a little bit, made some shots late, and with about 4.5 minutes left, 3.5 minutes, Chase got an offensive putback, really solidified the victory, and then we went to roll from there. So obviously those are some keys for me. I like the way that we bounced back from some early turnovers and a guy getting hot. Tominaga had the first 15 for Nebraska as well, so it was really back and forth.
And they went on that run
with him and Ty, but then we really shut him down afterwards. And then we took care of business. We really did a good job on the scout again against Sam Griesel, who they really run a lot of their stuff through. and then their big guy as well, who we really shut down until the end. So all in all, I thought it was a really huge team effort. Like you mentioned, it took an Army, obviously coming off of a win on a Monday and then going to have to play on the road on Wednesday. That's no easy feat in the conference, and really to see those guys locked in and come ready to play, I think says it all about this team right now.
Yeah. And not to interrupt, but now we're 11-0 when we out-rebound teams. We finished that game with the rebounding battle 35-23. So I had to drop that stat in there because that's great. Usually at Northwestern, we aren't winning a lot of those rebounding battles, as playing in that 1-3-1 when we played there or previous years. So that was really good to see. I love the big fella Nicholson. He's in there. I think he shot 3 for 3, got a couple blocks, some rebounds. I like how much he's improving and helping our team.
Yeah, I think just his presence defensively, right? When he's out there, you can really see a difference. And I think his pick and roll defense is very slept on. I think he's really good. And no matter what type of coverage you're running, right? Like if he's on a hard hedge or if he's in that flat coverage where he needs to be big and really make it difficult for that guard trying to turn downhill. I think he's done a really good job in that, and then obviously recovering to the big, but huge testament to the overall defensive effort. We turned Nebraska over 15-plus times and really took advantage of that on the offensive end as well. We're able to turn those turnovers into baskets and easy threes on the other end. So that's something that I've been looking at for us to improve on, is improve in transition. Take advantage of some of the turnovers that you're creating with your defense and turning it into points. We did a really good job against Nebraska in that aspect.
Definitely. And with that, we covered that game. That was a great win. Then we packed up, came back home. Then we got to Alumni Day against Minnesota. Anything you saw from that game, that was a great win, especially on Alumni Day. In front of all the fans, the student section showed up. What were your thoughts on that Minnesota game?
I thought we were super prepared for the zone. I think what we did was see how they played Indiana, and we're very prepared for that 2-3 zone. Obviously, Minnesota was a little depleted with some injuries, but you still got to play the game. We came out, the crowd was energized, and we knocked down shots early, right? We got it into the middle of the zone, and we're able to get some easy looks and efficient looks all the way throughout the game. I thought, again, not to beat a dead horse, but Chase was incredible again. I thought he controlled the game from start to finish. 10
of the first 18 points.
Yeah, I thought he just controlled the game on both sides. Obviously, he has a little bit more ball handling duties this year, and I think that has really helped his poise, his shot selection, and a really good job by the coaching staff of getting him into places where he can get to his spots and score. The backcourt was terrific. Boo was great. And then shout out to Robbie Barron as well. 14 points. His stroke looked great. Yeah. He was aggressive early, banged a big shot when we were down 5-0. And I think right then and there, he really pumped the guys up and saying, boom, let's go. I'll knock down the first shot. We know how important that is for this team. And then from there, we really routed them.
Definitely. And, we're doing a great job defensively. Like you said, offensively, we came out prepared for the zone. Yeah. We're top 3 in blocks, second in steals. And I really like how we're taking care of the ball. I think this Minnesota game, we won the turnover battle.
4.
Minnesota had 15. We had 4. And, another stat, we won 13 straight games when we win the turnover battle.
There you go.
So, that's really important. As a point guard, that's one of the first things I'm looking at when I see the stats is how many turnovers, or I'm asking my coaches, how many turnovers did I have? Because you understand, how important each possession is, especially playing against those big teams in the Big Ten. And, with that, the freshman, got to shout him out again, career high, 5 rebounds. Titus, he came off the bench
Titus
and really gave
nice
us a spark.
Yeah, Titus had nice minutes.
I think he had 3 blocks. So he came in the game, really energized, changed things, turned things around. And like you talked about, Chase did a really good job controlling things. But I also think Boo did a really good job. I think he had 21, 8 assists. He's making the right reads, and he's locked in on the defensive end. So when our backcourt and everything is clicking like that, we're going to be tough to beat. And, hopefully we can get Julian Roper back in there to kind of, give us that boost, give us some help. But one thing, with that, I would like to see, our main guys that play a lot of minutes get a little bit more rest. I felt like we had a comfortable lead down the stretch. Maybe get some guys in. We're playing a lot of games in a short period of time. And you know how it is once it gets to late February, March, that Big Ten tournament comes up. It's back to back to back. So I would like to see some of our guys get a little bit more rest. But all in all, they came out protecting home court. They were prepared. And I just love the way that we're playing right now and the atmosphere that we have in there with those students. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, the video, I played it back a couple times of the students going crazy and chanting MVP after the guy missed for the Chick-fil-A. That was one of the funnier moments I've seen so far in an arena. And the place, like the top blew off the place when he missed that last one for the free Chick-fil-A. So obviously, really good job to the Northwestern marketing team as well, putting that together and working with a cool partner like Chick-fil-A to get something like that rolling.
Dude, and that Chick-fil-A. So me and my wife tried to take the kids there after the game. Parking lot, like the drive-through full. So I tried to go inside. It's employees just running around like chickens with their heads cut off. People sitting down, it was full. We just walked out like we would have been in there over an hour. So I know those, and it was just a bunch of students. They're walking in, joking, they're happy. So I'm like, yeah, they're taking advantage, getting that buy one, get one free. So that's a really good partnership. And, my boys are excited that they get that free Chick-fil-A. So that's a really good thing. So I'm glad that they're doing that. And, I got to shout you out too. You came across, you had some tickets, and you made that post on Twitter, getting the fans involved to really, help some fans out and give them some quality seats. So, major shout out to you. That was a really big thing. And that's what it's all about, giving back to the university as an alumni. So kudos to you, man. That was a big thing. I really like that you did.
I appreciate that, Juice. Yeah, it was just something that came to me. Obviously, we had our alumni day, so I had some additional tickets. So anytime I can give my season tickets out, always going to be wearing purple. That's for sure. They're definitely not going to the other team.
Right.
I ride with my folks for sure. So it was a cool thing. I look forward to doing a little bit more. Love being involved in the Northwestern community and obviously this basketball program. So just a way that I could give back, and obviously with the student section being sold out, being able to give that to a couple students was good.
Yeah, and get that fan interaction. That'll keep the fans involved too, and not just the current players, but with the former players. So that's just pushing the university forward and spreading the word. So I thought that was a really big thing. So
that's what we're all about in Northwestern. You know that, Juice.
There you go. There we go. And we make shots. Remember, we had the T-shirts that said "Make shots, cut hard," all that. That's great. Okay. Well, with that, so we recap those two games. What do we got coming up? We got Iowa, a rescheduled game from the COVID time.
Yeah, this is a scary game. This is a scary game. This is a team that is red hot, and a team that's really going to be testing our defensive prowess. Obviously, we're third in the Big Ten in defensive efficiency. We're playing a top offensive team in the conference. Iowa loves to run and gun. They love to try to outscore you, and they have guys that can make shots. They have guys that can make plays 1 to 5. I think Rebraca is a very underrated player in the low post. He has great post moves. He's versatile, and he gets the opponents in foul trouble. And then, obviously you can't talk about Iowa without talking about Chris Murray, dynamic wing, lefty, can really get to his spots, super athletic, and is able to run the floor like a gazelle and really get up and down with the best of them. Obviously, the limelight has really been shined on him this year with the departure of his brother to the NBA. He's really filled those shoes admirably and is playing at all conference level.
Definitely. And, with that, I think McCaffrey came back.
Yes, he did.
So I think they're at full strength. So that's going to be tough in itself. We have to stay out of foul trouble. Like you said, they got those bigs. Rebraca, like you said, a little underrated, but he can get things done. So, we do a really good job of doubling in the post, so I'm sure they're going to have a really good scheme and game plan. But what I would really like to see them make Murray work. Whether that's putting them in ball screens, just having Barron run off some staggers or something, just so he has something else to think about besides scoring and getting his rebounds and playing for himself. So I think we have a really good chance. We've done a great job on the road. We got that big win at Indiana, at Michigan State. And I'm looking forward to the guys keeping it going.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's crazy. Like, we've shot so much better on the road this year, it feels like. And like you and I talked about before on this pod, I was a great shooting gym. For some reason, those rims look a little bit bigger there. The lights are bright. Being down in that bowl, it's a really good shooter's gym. Obviously, you and I had some great success there from the outside, and we're a part of some great
I
wins
slapped the
there.
backboard there.
That's right.
That's still my highlight. I was training a 7th grader the other day, and I told him, I slapped the backboard. So I was trying to show him how to do it without missing the layup. So that's a highlight of my life, slapping the backboard at that facility.
Oh, yeah. You all of 5'7".
Exactly. I'm getting nowhere near to dunk the ball, so slapping the foam part is a highlight for me.
Man. No, it's good. Any other keys against Iowa you feel like we need to do in order to be successful?
Take care of the ball, continue to play our style of play. It's been working. We're hanging our hats on the defensive end. Obviously come out, follow the coach's game plan. Let's continue to move the ball. We know we have Chase, Boo, they can score, but we have guys that can also step up and make big shots. Brooks Barnheiser, he's stepping up. He's coming up with some big plays, scoring, shooting a 3 with confidence, getting to the free throw line. Of Nicholson, he's finishing inside. And, speaking of him, I got to see him after the game. And, me and Boo was giving him a little stuff about one of the lobs he threw him. And he was supposed to go up and dunk it. And he thought someone was behind it. So, he knows, and he's playing a lot more physical. So I just want to see us come out with that same defensive intensity. Keep moving the ball around. Looks like guys are having fun. Everyone's engaged on the bench. So it's a good sight to see.
Yeah, I think it's a game that we need to play in the 70s, not the 80s.
Yeah, not the 80s.
You know what I mean?
They can score.
Iowa just scored 93 on Rutgers or something like that the other day at home. So
yeah, that's not our style.
Right, and that's the number 1 defensive team in the league, if not the country, Rutgers, statistically. So, Iowa has that type of offensive prowess. We need to, I think, slow it up a little bit, run our sets, and maybe frustrate them and make them play defense like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, definitely. But all in all, I think we have a lot of momentum going into this game. Obviously, Iowa just got a big win, against Rutgers. But, we're the second-place team by ourselves, so I'm expecting us to keep that rolling so we can, really make that push towards the tournament.
Yeah, for sure. And then obviously we have Michigan coming up as well. We've already played them. They've been struggling a little bit, but they went out in Ann Arbor and beat us pretty soundly the last time we played them. So I look for us to make some offensive adjustments, maybe play a little smaller against them and force Dickinson to guard a little bit more on the perimeter, and then be more sound defensively. I thought we maybe got away from the scout a little bit. I think we were a little lazy earlier on in that game with our switches, and they really took advantage of that and got to their spots and knocked down some early threes, which allowed their young guards to play with confidence. And in the end, those two had pretty much career nights against us. So I look for us to be a little bit more locked in at home defensively with a raucous crowd at Welsh Ryan ready to cheer our guys on. So I'm looking for a better result against Michigan there. But nonetheless, I think if we can go 2-0 this week, I think we're a surefire top 25 team. And this kind of leads us into this next segment, Juice, the scouting report for this week. And the scouting report is actually on us. It's the Northwestern Wildcats. Why is the AP top 25 not giving us a fair shake? What is it that is not on our resume?
What more do we have to do?
What have we done differently than some of these other teams that are out there? Or what have we not done to not solidify ourselves in that top 25, especially coming off a 3-0 week, off of a COVID break?
COVID, yeah. So like you said, we've been talking about it. We got 2 big quality wins on the road at Michigan State at the Breslin Center. Then we also, went down Assembly Hall in Indiana and won on the road. And, we're home, protecting home court. Yes, we had a big, a tough loss to Pittsburgh, but look what we just went through. We had to reschedule some games.
Pittsburgh's 8-3 in the conference. Pittsburgh's 8-3 in the ACC.
So that that really doesn't come out to be a bad loss. So we should be right there. Yes, we're getting votes, but just because it's Northwestern, that doesn't mean we shouldn't be in there. Because right now we're playing at a high level. We have a really good resume, and we're in sole possession of second place in the Big Ten. And, for us, that doesn't come that often. That hasn't happened that much, but the guys are rolling. So what is the reason? Why aren't we in the top 25?
Right. I'm with you, Juice. I think just based on what we have done, our body of work so far, halfway through the Big Ten season, almost in February, I think we're a top 25 team, right? Like the only loss that we have to a non-tournament team right now is at Michigan. Like you mentioned, we won at Michigan State and at Indiana. Both of those teams' home records combined are 20-3. and 2 of those losses are against us. So put that in perspective on how difficult those places are to play. We went there, took care of business in conference, on the road, and beat 2 really good teams that are going to be, fighting in March and potentially in April down the stretch. So I think we're getting a little shafted here. I think there's a little bias towards some of the blue blood programs out there, towards some of the programs that have done it a little bit more consistently in the past. But I think with our body of work, with the things that we've done and the personnel that we have, along with the statistics, I think we should be in there right now.
Should be a shoe-in. Yeah, we definitely should be. But, just being around the guys, they understand it. So it's things like they're keeping that underdog mentality, and they want more. They understand. I know the guys feel it. They should be top 25 the way they're playing, their resume, but they want more. And so that's for us to talk about. We should be in the top 25. The guys are going to continue to work hard. But like we said, it's no reason for us not to be. But this week we aren't. So let's go out. Let's get that win at Iowa. Come back, protect home court against Michigan, and then let's see what happens over the weekend. So if we can come out, take care of business this week, go 3-0 again, top 25, we might, top 20,
top 15. I mean, come on.
Let's keep it going.
Iowa,
let's think big.
At Iowa, I think they're, like I mentioned before, they're one of the hottest teams in the country right now, and always kind of hit their stride around this point. Fran McCaffrey's a really good coach. These guys can score. They go on these runs throughout the season that they look like a top 20 team as well. So I think if we could take care of business at Iowa this week, take care of business at home against Michigan, really. If we end the week 8-3 in the conference and 17-5, again, 15 wins all of last season. We're not even in February yet. We're at 15 wins. So
we're there.
It's a great story to tell. I love that the guys are keeping that underdog mentality and really playing it one game at a time and just trying to take care of business. I think they need to continue to embody that as a team, because I think it's really on brand for the type of play that we've had thus far this year. So that's really good to hear from the locker room that you're getting that, Juice.
Yeah, and then also once we do crack that top 25, because I'm really confident, just like you are, that we will crack it. Let's not go in there for 1 week and then drop out. Let's continue to keep it rolling, keep playing our style, and let's keep climbing that that ranking chart and really put us in a good position for the Big Ten tournament. So hopefully we can, get a bye, that first game. That's huge. Because I'm sure, you remember, like, we would play that first day, second day, and the more and more you play, it's not like we're 12, 13, 14 years old playing AAU, right, playing multiple games a day or back-to-back. It can kind of, weigh on you after a long season. So let's keep that rolling, keep that in the back of our minds, use it as motivation, and keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, especially depending on where you fall in the bracket, too, right? You could be playing at 6 p.m., on Friday and then wake up and play at noon or 1 o'clock on Saturday, right?
That's a quick turnaround.
It's a quick turnaround, less than 24 hours. Getting it, So definitely important to take care of business now so that we can get that extra rest and rejuvenation. And, if something does happen in the Big Ten tournament where, there's an early knockout, not saying that would happen, but solidify yourself over the course of this next few weeks as a shoe-in team, climb up the seed line, because I think right now we're at like a 10, according to some of the bracketologists. If we can get to that 7, 8, even 6 line with a few really high-quality wins within the conference, the sky's the limit. We can get matchups that I think will be very difficult for some of the other teams playing in that tournament.
Definitely. No, I agree. That pretty much sums it up. And, why are the Wildcats not ranked in the top 25? That might be the headline for the week. So we will get there. And moving forward, what's the word on campus? Anything you have? Because I have some stuff, after the game.
Kick us off.
I went into the locker room.
Kick us off with it.
Yeah. So we'll kick it off. Yeah, as you saw, Alumni Day was fun. Everyone was happy. So I went into the locker room to talk to some guys. And, I wanted to also got to give a shout out to Chase Audige, being recognized as Naismith Defensive Player of the Year, top 15. Yeah. So that's a really good recognition. That's not something that you usually see at Northwestern. So, when I had my moment to talk to him, I congratulated him. But like I was talking about with that underdog mentality, his first words, were thank you. but we got to turn it up a notch. And it wasn't just him. He didn't say I have to. He said we have to turn it up a notch. So that's just a credit to the coaching staff and their mentality. They know what they've accomplished, but they know they can accomplish a lot more. And he just kept saying it. We got to turn it up a notch. We're right there, but we got to keep turning it up. So that's my word on the campus. The cats know how good they are, but they know they have another level to them. And I'm excited to see them continue to hit their stride right as we go into March.
Yeah, that's great insight, Juice. And really to flip things a little bit, mine is more beef off campus. What are we doing in the media, right? I guess you and I are kind of part of this now, but which is weird to say. But like, where's the love, right? We've already mentioned this before. Where's the love for the Cats? I think I've seen us ranked, as high as 35 right now, but aside from the players, I don't think this coaching staff is getting enough credit. I really don't. You talk about a huge turnaround, changing the way we play, embodying a new culture, embodying a new way of playing, a new defensive scheme. I think the coaching staff has done an unbelievable job of getting this team ready to play consistently, right? Definitely. Especially over the course of these last couple weeks. A hell of a job, and a tip of my cap to everybody in that locker room, not only the players, the training staff, everybody involved in the program, the grad assistants,
even the managers
team
too.
managers.
I see the managers working out there, getting the rebound. They're all a part of it. They're all a part of it. And I made sure to to let them know, keep up the good work. They're a big part in our success too.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously Purdue being number one in the country and being 10-1 in the conference, like Matt Painter obviously should be in the running for Big Ten Coach of the Year. But with us being at 6-3 and sole second place right now, halfway through the year, I truly believe Chris Collins' name should be mentioned there. Right? Definitely. He's taken a lot of criticism over the course of the last couple of years, but being able to look himself in the mirror and get with the coaching staff and the players and build what's happening this year and really turn things around, I think is just a testament to his ability, his trust in his staff, and trying to get this program to the next level again and to the big dance is obviously the ultimate goal. And then obviously win games, right? We are just winning games and taking it one game at a time and controlling the controllables. And I think we've done a really good job of that. Yeah.
And piggyback off what you said, we're winning games that in previous years we were losing. We're finding ways to close out these games. You think back to that Wisconsin win. A lot of those switches, Boo got whatever he wanted. Previous years, some of our guards would shoot some quick shots, some highly contested shots, but now it's like we're being more patient, getting to our spots and getting some quality looks, and we're coming up with big defensive possessions down the stretch.
Yeah, winning is a learned skill, right? Like winning is a learned skill. Yeah. And I think some of those trials and tribulations over the course of the last couple seasons, especially with a guy like Boo and Chase, where they lost a lot of tough, difficult games, I think have only made them stronger. And you can see the growth and maturity this year in particular with those two guys that have allowed us to take that next step and, like you said, win games that we would have lost previously.
Definitely. And those two, Chase and Boo, they've really come together. There was something in the press conference about, them deciding, to really work together and focus on, that teamwork aspect and controlling things and leading. And you can see it. Our backcourt is taking care of the ball, getting guys in the right spot, and then our defense. So you got to really give that credit. Their veteranship, their experience is paying off, and we got to expect them to continue to do what they've been doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Any other word from the locker room other than these locker rooms having the most unbelievable facilities you could ever imagine?
Yeah, that locker room. I wish.
Did you get to talk to the coaching staff at all? You talk to B-Mac or anything?
I got to talk to Taylor Battle, and he was really excited about it. But it was a little bit of talking. Then my kids are in there running around, talking to the players. My kids, one of my youngest came out with a headband. My nephew came out with a headband. Okay. So my older son came out with Chase's shoes. So, it was just great, just like when we were in college, giving back to the kids, making them feel a part of it. So a lot of times I was just kind of sitting back as a dad, being happy and watching those interactions with them. But I did get that word on campus how Chase was saying, we got to turn it up a notch.
That's awesome.
But other than that word on campus, these guys are great. They're taking the time with kids, media, fans. They're just great people and a great representation of the university. So with that, Wildcat Alley, we're going to sign out. Catch us on all your platforms, Spotify, Well, we got Apple Music. We're going to be on YouTube. Sure. So follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything. Beyond the Big Ten. Juice Thompson with my boy, Alex Marco 3 Leo, sharpshooter. Oh, they don't have shooter shakes in the locker room anymore either.
Travesty. Absolute travesty.
Yeah. They should have brought that back for alumni days to get everybody some. But all in all, great episode. Let's get this win at Iowa. And I'm sure I'll see you at the gym Thursday for a big win against Michigan.
For sure, Juice. Appreciate you as always.
Yeah, my man. It's great seeing you the other day too, my man. Let's keep it rolling.
See you soon.
Beyond the Big Ten is a network of podcasts that aims to be your go-to resource for all things Big Ten. We cover the entire conference with shows hosted by ex-players and athletic alumni, aiming to be your go-to source of information and entertainment for your favorite team. Hosted by ex-Big Ten players, media, and insiders, our podcasts are focused on giving diehard fans and those alums an inside scoop about the teams and people that make the Big Ten Conference one of the most watched and most talked about conferences in sports. We're excited to talk Big Ten basketball with you wherever you may be. Subscribe now.